Hi, I'm Maggie from Personal Euphoria, and today I'm going to take you through a balance circuit. So there was a small study done that showed that women 60 and over improved their balance by practicing twice a week for 50 minutes a day. Within 12 weeks, they had improved balance and strength. So I looked at what the study said that they did, and I couldn't figure out every exercise, and they weren't all explained. They just sort of had titles. So this won't be a full 50 minutes. It will be as best as I can kind of figure out many of the moves and exercises in this study. So we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up, then we're going to go through a circuit of exercises. Then you will repeat that circuit a second time, and ones that only incorporate one leg, you would use the other side. And then there's a little cool down, some of which we don't have the stuff to do, like they did a ball toss. So if you didn't have a partner, we're not going to do any partner exercises. And I like to think that, again, since it was a small study, even if you're doing some of these exercises, you would see improvement in balance. All right, so let's get started. We're going to first start with stretching the upper body. So we're going to pull one arm in and take a deep breath. And another. And then bring the other arm across your chest and inhale and exhale. And again, I don't know exactly what the study did. I know they started with upper body stretches, upper arm stretches, and release. If it feels okay in your body, you're going to bring your elbow up to the ceiling and sort of push from in front. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Other side. Inhale and exhale. And maybe if you're really tight, you're kind of pushing from here, but you're looking for a stretch in your tricep, the back of your upper arm. Release. And I'm going to have you do arm circles. Reach up and press down, but try to make that as big as possible. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So next they did some some leg stretches. And again, I'm not positive what they did, but I would start with a quad stretch. So you can hold on to a wall, or if you want added balance challenge, you do not have to hold on to anything. But you're gonna hold on to your foot, knee pointed down, not flared out, and we'll take 2 deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Deep breath in and exhale. Now we're going to stay on that same leg. Flex the foot in front of you. So you're pulling your toes to your nose, your weight is in your heel, and you're going to stick the butt out and hinge forward. And you're looking for a stretch in your hamstring, and breathe here. Inhale and exhale. And come on up. We'll do both of those on the other side. So again, you can hold on to something, but you're going to grab your foot and do a quad stretch and hold for 2 breaths. It was also unclear how long they held each stretch in the beginning. Now bring that foot in front, flex the foot, and hinge, and breathe here. Inhale and exhale. All right, so the next thing they did in their warm-up was just walk around, but to take turns. So in your space, just move and take different directions, do something different within your walk, right? Be going a little to the right, then turn. Just walk around sort of aimlessly in your space. But make sure it's a zigzag or something different. It's not just a straight walk. And now we're just going to incorporate stop. So you're going to walk and stop, walk around and stop, walk, stop, walk, stop, walk, stop, walk, stop, walk a little bit, stop, walk, stop. One more time, walk and stop. Now we're gonna walk and have turns. So I would say, think of maybe walking in a square. You're gonna walk and turn, walk and turn. And if you have a bigger space than me, you don't have to turn when I turn. You can go a little further and turn, walk and turn, walk, turn, walk. Now we're gonna do that in the other direction. So walk and turn, walk and turn, walk, turn, walk, turn. And again, if you have a bigger space, you can have a longer walk, that's okay. All right, next, they did some hip mobility. So they brought the leg across the midsection and out to the side. And again, I don't know the specific exercise they did. You can do this balancing, or again, you could hold onto a wall, but you want to bring the leg across your midline and out to the side. And we'll do 5 more, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the same thing on the other side. Cross the midline, out to the side. So what they listed that they did is that they did hip abduction and adduction, right? So they brought the legs closer to each other and more out to the side. What specific move they did was unclear, but a variation of this for sure. All right, from here, they did hip flexion. So we're gonna march in place. And again, you can hold on to something if you want to. Hip flexion is just making the hip joint smaller. So when the thigh goes forward, you're flexing the hip. And then we're still in the warm-up portion of this. Last for the warm-up, they pointed the foot and release. Point and flex. And again, you can be holding on to something for balance, or I suppose you're gonna get even more work if you try not to hold on to anything, and you can with that one leg in the air. So it'll be more of a balance challenge not to hold, but totally hold, right? We're still in the warm-up. Switch legs. Now actually we're combining hip flexion and pointing the toe, right? So even if we didn't get their exact exercise, we're doing something else that combines both. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, next we're gonna go into the circuit. And again, as best I can tell for what they did, there are 13 exercises, but there were 2 that I really was not able to figure out at all what they were planning. So I'm gonna take you through 11. We do each one for 1 minute, so I will time us, and I'm gonna suggest that anytime we do one leg, you do your left leg, so that when you go back and repeat the circuit your second time, anytime you do anything, you'll know which leg you did it on. All right, so I'm gonna set the clock for 1 minute. Here we go. We're gonna start by sidestepping. One foot and then the other. Side to side. Side and side. Side and side. Side step. Side step. Keep going. So this would be more fun if you had a friend that was willing to do this as an experiment with you, because then you could put a minute on the clock and you can chat, right? Side, 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 side. What's interesting is just switching side to side, I feel it working my glute medius muscles already. And when you work those muscles, you are gonna improve balance, right? So I have to say, this was a small study. I don't know that these are the exercises you have to do. I think there's lots of exercises. If you did 26 minutes of a circuit of balance exercises every twice a week, I think your balance would just improve. That's 1 minute. So next we're gonna do the airplane. This is one where if you're feeling really wobbly, you're gonna wanna hold onto a wall, but one leg stays down and one comes up and you tip forward. So we're gonna put a minute on the clock here, and you're gonna tip forward and come back up, trying not to touch the back leg to the floor. Now when I teach this exercise, we tip in and out of it, but they might have held. So maybe one day you go into the airplane and you try to just hold it for a minute. Tilt and up. Your base leg should not be locked, so there's a soft bend. And again, if you're feeling super wobbly, you're holding onto a wall or a chair that can support you. You're more than half done on this side. And again, it's more glute medius work. The side of your butt and hip is working a lot on this exercise. You have about 10 seconds here. You're trying to keep your hips square, so you don't want to twist the leg in the air. That hip doesn't want to rotate up to the ceiling. It will want to, but you don't want to let it. All right, that's a minute there. Next, we're going to walk backwards on our heels. So you're going to get your weight into your heels and walk backwards. And if you don't have space, you might have to turn just to give you more room, but try to keep the whole ball of the foot off the floor. And do as long a line as you can in your space without turning. Again, I want you to be able to see me, so I don't have a ton of room here, but go all the way across your floor if you can safely. We're halfway there. Try to breathe. And you should feel your ankles working a lot here. So there's a lot of ankle work on this exercise. It's hard. And I would recommend being on a soft surface, because I'm on a firm surface and it feels a little tender in my heels, but that's a lot of sensation. All right, that's a minute. All right, next, you're gonna walk backwards on your whole foot. So I think that's gonna feel so much easier in comparison. Again, we'll get started now. Start walking backwards. Go the length of your room. So get as far back before you have to turn as you can, right? You want to do as long a line backwards as possible, I would guess. Keep breathing. Going backwards. When you need to turn, try not to look to see where what you're doing. Although if this is new for you, let yourself feel it out. You don't want to fall. You don't want to trip on anything. If you don't feel safe doing an exercise yet, you don't have to do it the whole time, right? You can skip one for now, and as you get stronger, and you will, right, you can incorporate that exercise in. You have about 5 seconds of walking backwards here. There you go. All right, so for the next one, they had people walk on unstable surfaces. And for this, if you have like a piece of foam or egg crate you would put on a bed, you could walk around on that. A mat might be a little bit better. I would say even if you have some pillows, throw them down. I have some pillows and some funny balance discs. So find something that's a little unstable. The clock starts now, and you're just gonna walk on those unstable surfaces. Look, I just fell off. It doesn't have to be perfect. The perfection is not necessarily the goal, right? It's your nervous system finding the balance on those different surfaces. So if you have, 6 pillows you could lay down, that would be better than nothing, and it would be an unstable surface. It's actually, I'm amazed how unstable a pillow can be. Again, trying to breathe as you do this movement. You have 10 seconds left here. And that's a minute. All right, we're gonna move the objects out of the way. And now for a minute, we're gonna walk around on the ball of your foot. So you're gonna lift up like you're wearing stilettos and walk around. And again, I would do as long a line in your room as you can before you turn, but you're on the balls of your feet. And you're still breathing. And you're trying to notice what you feel. In the heel walk, my heels felt very sensitive. Being on the ball of my foot, barefoot on a hard surface, doesn't feel as sensitive to me. But is that more or less sensitive in your body, right? Checking in with what you feel is going to help your nervous system process where you are in space, and that's going to help with your balance. And as you do this, noticing what changes in your body will also be helpful, right? Maybe as you do this, it gets less tender, or maybe more tender, and then that might be something you kind of want to figure out. That's a minute. All right, the easiest one of the bunch, walking forward on your whole foot. So go ahead and start walking, just like you normally would. And again, go as long as you can before you have to turn. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Walking forward and forward. After everything we've done, this should feel fairly easy. But again, now that you're thinking about what's happening and how much easier this feels, what do you notice in your body? Do you spend more time on your heel? Do you roll on the outside of your foot? What is happening when you take a normal walk? And how much nicer does it feel than some of the other movements we've been doing? Or does it not feel better to you? All right. From here, we're going to be balancing on one leg again, and you want to grab a couple of objects and put them on different surfaces. So go back to that left leg so that again, when you do this, you can repeat it on the other side. All right, so we're going to put a minute on the clock. You're balancing. And the goal is to balance but reach in all different directions. So I will try to pick up the pillow on the floor, and now I'm going to put that over on this table. Then I pick this one up. If you have a higher table, you can put it on that. When you start, your reach can be very tiny, and the goal is, as you get better, you try to reach for further, higher, and lower surfaces. If it bothers your knees, I would not start by going too low. Even if you don't have objects, you can fake it. Pretend you're a mime, right? And you're reaching for objects at different heights based on the level that you are ready to work right now. We have about 10 more seconds here. Keep trying to breathe. Get some rotation in your torso. That's good. All right, so next we're gonna walk forward and cross the legs as you walk. Here we go. All right, walk forward, one foot in front of the other. And again, you're gonna wanna go for as long a line as you can in your house before you turn around. Once you kind of know these exercises, the other thing is, who knows if you have to do them for 15 minutes straight. So if you pick a couple of them and you start to incorporate them, right? Maybe one day when you walk from the car into your house, you try to walk on your heels or on the balls of your feet. You might be able to throw some of these moves into your regular routine and your regular life. Less than 10 seconds here. All right, pause there. All right, so the next one, they had people walk on a narrow base in a circle. I don't have a narrow base that's circular. I'm gonna guess that you don't either. So I'm gonna have you walk in a circle to your left for 1 minute, and then the next time you do this set of circuits, you'll walk in the other direction. All right, so go ahead and pick the size of your circle and start walking in a circle. And again, notice what it feels like to be walking in a circle. So I went to the left, so my left leg is on the inside of the circle, and I'm a lot more aware of that leg working than I am on my right leg on the outside of the circle. The inside leg is working harder for me. Maybe that's the case for you, maybe not. Maybe next time around when you switch, you won't find that to be the case. Perhaps it's not always your inside leg, but it's always a specific leg that feels like it's working harder for you. Because we tend to have one stronger and one weaker leg. You have less than 10 seconds to keep circling here. And relax. Okay, so next they did a tandem gait. That is the gait, like if you got pulled over for a DUI, where you do heel in front of toe, heel in front of toe. So let's set up for that and go ahead. Heel in front of toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Try again to find as long a line so that you don't have to turn. But practically, right, most rooms in a minute of walking heel toe, you're gonna have to turn, so that's okay. And keep breathing. Try to stand as tall as you can. And again, notice you have a moment here where you're really on one leg at a time. It's like you're walking on a balance beam. Do you feel more strength and more secure on one leg? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you feel pretty even. Maybe you're not sure what you're feeling. There is no wrong answer there either. All right, next, I'm gonna add one, because remember they had two exercises I couldn't tell what they were, and this is an exercise that has also been associated with improved balance. It's that same tandem gait, but backwards. So again, take your time, we'll set a minute on the clock, and you're gonna do toes and heels together, walking behind you. Don't worry about the pace, but be in control. Once you get more comfortable, you can play with going faster or slower. And I find this considerably harder than the regular tandem gait, right? And one that we don't normally have to do. So we've all kind of probably practiced that tandem gait at one point. And your kids, you do that. But I don't do backwards very often. All right, you have less than 15 seconds, less than 10 seconds. That's your minute. All right, so right now, you would hit the pause button, go back to where the circuit started, repeat all those circuits, and remember the two that we did balancing on one leg, you'd balance on the other leg, and then the circle you would do in the opposite direction of which you did. Then they did some cool down exercises, again with ball tosses and some eye exercises. So I'm not sure what eye exercises they did, but I'm just gonna have you keep your head straight, but look to the right and look to the left. So the eyes move, but the head does not move. Vision plays a huge role in balance. I bet you can't see what I'm doing here, right? So I'm basically looking straight ahead, but I'm looking left and looking right while standing upright. And now look up and look down. But try not to move your head. You're just moving your eyes. Up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm curious how creepy this looks to you right now. And down, up and down. And then they ended with some breathing exercises. So I'm gonna have you just take a deep breath. You can put your hands on your belly and you're gonna breathe into your belly. And then exhale. Inhale, breathe into the belly. And exhale. Inhale, breathe. And exhale. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. All right, so you just went through the circuit. If you added that other circuit, it would be about 35 minutes. So again, their total workout was 50 minutes because they had some more exercises, they had some more cool down exercises. So if you want to just add some movement that feels good or some gentle stretches, you can increase the length of this particular workout. But try that a couple times a week and see if you notice if your balance is improving. Because again, it was a small study, and I do think anything you do to improve balance will be helpful.